Hello and welcome to Sports Room. I'm Anirudh Madhavan and with me is veteran journalist Ayaz Memon. On today's episode, we'll talk about the ongoing India-Afghanistan T20 series, the return of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma into the squad, and what that means for the team heading into the World Cup. So, Ayaz, let's start with yesterday's match. India ended up winning comfortably with a crucial performance from Shivam Dube with both bat and ball.
Yeah.
So, what did you make of the team and the match?
Well, I think the highlight, or not such a great highlight of the match, was Rohit Sharma getting out for a blob. Run out, unfortunately. But apart from that, he did quite a lot of things right. I mean, the way he led the team, the way India played, the way some of the, kind of newcomers, I won't say he's a newcomer, he's 30 years old, but Shivam Dube putting in a sterling all-round performance. So too Akshar Patel, who's been kind of on the sidelines because either he's been unfit or he's been left out. So there has been a clamor, Anirudh, recently for getting a lot of these youngsters in and saying, hey, why do you have so many youngsters on the fringes and why not induct them into the team? And that's paid off. Now, we know that Virat didn't play the first match. He's likely to play the second, if not the second, the third, or maybe both the remaining matches. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I don't see really the conflict between Virat and Rohit and the others. I think what really needs to happen between now and the T20 World Cup is you need to get enough exposure for all these fringe players, if I might call them that, or the young guns, and also see how the seniors are faring in terms of fitness more than anything else. I think that's going to be really crucial where somebody like a Rohit Sharma is concerned, or even Virat going ahead. Because remember, they've got a 5-test series coming up against England, and then after that there is the IPL, which takes a toll on the physical toll of the body. So I think this is a good way to suss out all the others. I don't think that the selectors will take a call even for a core group of say 2025 for the T20 World Cup immediately. They'll wait till the first half of the IPL is over before they make that move. So yeah, I mean, all in all, a good day for India. At a little while, it seemed that they might be in a problem, especially when Afghanistan notched up a score of 158. But it turned out to be easy meat. I mean, after Shivam Dube and the others got going, it turned out to be all too easy.
So yeah, that brings me to the big question that everyone's been talking about. We also have been talking about this, the return of Kohli and Rohit. So you've already spoken about it a bit, but if you were to put on your selector's hat, what would be your argument for each of them for and against their inclusion in the squad?
I mean, the argument for them is rather simple, Anirudh, because they are high quality players. Their caliber is undoubted. The wealth and depth of experience, having played everywhere. Remember, this tournament is going to be played in the Caribbean and in the US, the World T20. So you need players who've got the experience to adjust and adapt quickly, which both of them have. So, but obviously the cons, if one might say, is are they too old? Are the younger players not better? Are they not fitter? And so on. So I think, look, at the end of the day, I think that as I mentioned, that the teams, even the shortlist for the team will not be made till about the halfway stage of the IPL. The selectors will keep the fringe players in mind, or not so much the fringe players, but somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal or Shubman Gill is no longer a fringe player, Shreyas Iyer. But even these guys, sustenance of form is really the issue. So there are not too many matches, T20 matches to keep reiterating your caliber, but the IPL affords great opportunity for Rohit and Virat also to show that they are not going to be flustered by a host of youngsters coming up. For them, especially for Rohit, fitness is going to be a key factor. But look, let's remember how well they performed against in the World Cup in the ODI format. Yes, this is a shorter game. It's speedier. It demands more, the tempo. But I don't think either of these players does not understand this. And I can't somehow agree to the idea that though they understand it, they don't play that kind of fearless cricket. I don't know what that means. I think what fearless cricket means is that you go out there and try and win matches. Now, it does not mean that the others we've got a whole, slew of fantastic youngsters coming along. We've seen Shivam Dube in the first match, 30 years old, but still is a bit of a rookie in the international arena. There's Yashasvi Jaiswal, there's Shubman Gill, there's Shreyas Iyer, who has to, all these guys have to keep showing, proving their mettle all the way through till the time the IPL is complete. I think that's where it really rests. Where Virat and Rohit are concerned, yes, they can't only ride on their reputation, they also have to keep playing and performing extremely well.
Yeah, which brings me the question of do you see someone, a couple of players from the younger lot who've kind of cemented their place in the side? Like, for example, a Gill or a Jaiswal with the bat, or a Bishnoi or Akshar Patel or Arshdeep Singh with the ball?
Actually, of all the names that you've taken, actually the batsmen have been a little bit wobbly, haven't they? In different
Yeah.
formats, not in T20 necessarily. But Gill, for instance, hasn't had that kind of blazing form that one expected, neither in the Test series nor in the ODI World Cup. Shreyas Iyer had a very good run in the ODI World Cup, but then didn't do well in the Test series. So what I'm trying to say is that there have been hiccups for all these guys. Yashasvi Jaiswal in South Africa did well in the shorter format, didn't do too well in the Test, and so on. So, or the other way around. I think that all of them need to, because there is just so much to choose from. I think consistency is going to be the key factor, and therefore performers like Rohit and Virat, because the body of work that they've erected, which stands to their name, is so mighty that it's not so easy to dislodge them. The thing is, it's not just about age. Age can be a number. As I mentioned earlier, they have to prove their fitness and their form. But unless the other guys are going to be in consistently good form, then there will be questions asked whether they are Gill or Jaiswal or Iyer or anybody else.
Lastly, we'd like to end on a bit of a curious note. So, as we all know, David Warner has ended his career on a high. He's now making appearances in helicopters in the Big Bash leagues. That's a separate issue. So, the person who's taking over from him, surprisingly, is Steve Smith. So, what do you make of a batsman who's arguably the best since Bradman in Test cricket, changing up his position so late into his career?
I think it's intriguing, but it's also very interesting. And the way I read it is that Steve Smith has thrown himself a challenge. He's thrown the gauntlet at himself. And it's also getting a little crowded in the middle order for Australia. Look, Marsh is amongst the runs. So is Labuschagne. Travis Head has become a revelation in the last year. So there is a jostling for, batting positions there. Maybe there is one place available which Smith occupies now, but there is certainly a vacancy at the top. And he's thrown this gauntlet at himself to try and, do do what he wants to do in the remaining part of his career. In the last few matches, at least in the last series against Pakistan, he didn't make the highest scores that one expected. But it's a very interesting move. Of the selectors, obviously they've had a chat and he's agreed. You don't expect a guy like Steve Smith to be plunked or pulled out from one position and put into the other if he wasn't happy doing it. So the fact that the Australians want him to do it, the selectors, and he himself has agreed, it promises some interesting times ahead.
And talking of greats changing their position, there were some rumors flying around of Virat Kohli maybe opening for India in T20s. We don't know. What we do know is that there are 2 matches left against Afghanistan, and hopefully the picture gets clearer as we move on. And that's it for this episode of Sports Room. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Andrew. Bye bye.